Bradley Lang here. I'd love to share a model with you that can be used to get the best out of others, and I learned it from a great leadership teacher, Baldwin Birch. A few things. Firstly, we as human beings are gregarious. We like groups, and that means we are in relationships with one another. For example, a leader is in a relationship with his or her direct reports, a direct report with his or her manager, with your peers, with your family, with your children. We are always in a relationship with one another. Secondly, the outcome of a relationship is based on the product of the interactions. And that's the same in an organization. For example, a life insurance company can create and sell a life policy, not its risk, not its compliance, not its finance, but they all need to work together to make it happen. If we want to get the best out of people, we need to know how to manage the relationship. I'd like to share a linear model with you that can be used to manage a relationship. The I, and we've got the you. And what I can do is take up a lot of space telling you something, or I can ask you something and you tell me back and take up a lot of space, or we meet a little bit in the middle where we irritate each other. In this I-you model, what are we missing? Many people say we're missing the us or the we. A non-linear model talks about 4 different styles that you can use to manage a relationship. This non-linear model is known as the I, you, we. So the first is what they call the push, and this is really where the person tells and explains, coming from someone who has a lot of experience, expertise, education, and they have the knowledge and the answers. The second style is called what we call the pull, and this is where person asks questions, invites others to share their thoughts and opinions, and in this a person has to really be comfortable with letting go and holding their own thoughts and holding the silence. The third style is what we call the build. And this is where together you combine your ideas, you design things together, and open up the collective intelligence. And the last style is what we call the be, and this is also known as quiet leadership. And where you are comfortable with holding the silence. No one style is better than the other, but they are all context dependent. For example, a push would work in a situation if there's a fire in the building. You don't hand out post-its and as a group decide what we're going to do. The person that knows where the exit is and where the fire extinguishers are, that person does the push. A pull would be used in a situation where, for example, a team lead has a team of very smart people who probably have the answer that he or she does not have. You need to ask a lot of questions and get that collective intelligence out of that team. Build would work in a situation where, for example, you have a complex problem and everyone on the team has to work together and contribute, combine, design to make sure you come up with the right solution. B would be in a situation, for example, where you have a high-performing team and they really know what they need to do and the leader can step to the side and out of the way. If you take these styles to an extreme, they become dysfunctional. For example, if you're too pushy, you become egotistical and self-centered. If you're too pully and asking lots of questions all the time and not sharing your own point of view, people start to feel a little bit confused. If you're too buildy, what happens is you get NATO, no action, talk only. And if you're too be, then it becomes very lonely. Now, we're not saying that you should not push, but it's more about the timing of the push. It makes a lot of sense to potentially ask questions and invite others for their thoughts first, and then together you can combine and design. There might be a situation where you have to practice a little bit of holding the silence, and then you should be in a situation where you can make a more formed decision or push. The I, you, we model is a great way to manage relationships. I hope that this has been helpful, and remember, all these skills: open questioning, active listening, holding your own thoughts, holding the silence, exploring with others. These are all skills that can be trained. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me.